That's what we do, humans. True. This ego death, it got me pressed, but here I am, and so are you. Time heals all wounds. Now's our time. Time heals all wounds, so take your time. Time heals all wounds, and now's our time. Time heals all, so take your time. Time to see, time to be free, time to find your peace, time to grieve, time to see. If you hang out with me in my other videos, you know that I'm normally talking about creative life as a creator. And this month I'm starting something new, which is to also give you videos where I'm just sitting in my own creative channel. I never know what I'm gonna sing, it's all freestyled, but I did want to start this practice with you. So there's this beautiful deck of cards, and I pulled a card as an idea before I started singing, and the card was grief. And I want to read it because I know a lot of people are in it right now. Grief, the seventh heart remedy. Grief, a deep and poignant distress caused by loss or perceived loss. Alchemist, it is time to grieve. You must mourn and release what chains you. This is the natural order of life. After all, sometimes things fall apart. People leave or damage occurs. You are caring and loving, and it is natural to grieve when you experience these losses. But grief is not your enemy. Grief is sadness taking form, sadness validated, sadness acknowledged. Grief is motion, and you cannot live your life without motion. Perhaps, in a way, grief is sadness leaving your body and finding the light. May your grief be a tool for healing and resilience. May grief lead you to some new, deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. What do you need to mourn? Honor and support the grief that you have been suppressing and holding close. Has grief or the fear of grief been stopping you from engaging and loving the world around you? Feel your grief and let it move through you. Grief is not a sexy word. It's not something most of us share either. Grief is something that we've been conditioned to experience in isolation and loneliness, and I know so many people grieving right now. And I wanted to connect in grief. Some parts of grief we have to do on our own. It's essential. It's almost the gift of grief to meet ourselves again and again on our own, to reflect, to feel all of the pain and all of the awareness that comes from allowing the pain to move through our body. But also, connecting in grief is powerful. And because I'm usually telling creators how to create in the world, how to live their free soul path life, in these videos I want to offer that just being in our feeling channel, being in the unknown, being in the what is going on right now, what does this mean for my life, what's going to happen next, that is such a huge part of this whole journey of being human. And we seem to treat it as the part that we're just waiting to go away. Like, oh no, this thing happened, it's slowing me down, it's holding me back. But it's often the doorway to the thing that we're actually wanting. Someone I love talked about it like a delivery cost. Like, if you send an order to the universe about the person you want to become, the experiences you want to live, what kind of life you want to create, life will send you a delivery cost. Just like getting a package in the mail, there's some sort of transactional fee in order to receive that thing. And it's not that the cost is big or unfair, or that we have to think about the universe as punishing us for the things we ask for at all. It's that idea of, what do I have to grieve about who I was in order to get to who I'm saying I want to become? And in the process, it just feels like loss. It just feels like death. It just feels like the losing, because the delivery hasn't arrived yet. And that's where I think connecting is so powerful. When you know that you and someone else are waiting for your delivery, you've put the order in and you've paid that cost, you're learning it, you're in it. It just helps us to stay present. So much of grief is obsessing about the past and dreading the future. Obsessing about the past when we had something that we wanted and dreading a future without it. And I find that when we meet in connection with people who are also in grief or who are moving through things we usually don't even want to say or share out loud, it helps us to just remember that we can sit in this unknown present moment and just feel okay. Have you ever felt that, like you're grieving deeply and then you cry until you can't cry anymore? You're just sitting with someone and just for some moments you just realize you're just okay. You're just sitting in this space and time. You're still grieving. You've still lost what you've lost. You're still sad, but there's just this almost aura, like a light that comes over the world because you've let all the pain move through you and you're just sitting with someone. And so in some small way, the videos that will come out like this month, and maybe if they continue, they'll just be me finding spaces on this grieving adventure that I'm personally on for myself right now, and sitting in my creative channel to see whatever words, pain, feeling, emotions come through, sharing that, sharing a card from this incredible deck, and just sending this message out into the bottle of the universe, the internet, to face some of the things that we normally feel like we have to do alone in the ways that we can when we can meet here together. And in all the ways that you have to do the parts alone. I commend you and I honor you, and I know that you will become even more your own best friend in all of those moments. And I really salute you from my soul to yours for being on that journey. Thanks for spending a moment to grieve and release and connect and just be with me. I'll see you next week.